This is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We are following breaking news. The search for a Didion Milling employee reported missing earlier today is over tonight. He was found dead.
For the plant in Columbia County, it is the second tragedy in a matter of years. Crews spent several hours this afternoon trying to locate that employee. His body was recovered from a grain silo this evening. Madeline O'Neill joins us from Cambria with new information tonight. Maddie?
Well, just within the past hour or so, we're learning from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office that the employee was a 52-year-old Waupun man whose identity isn't being released tonight as family members are notified. Now here tonight, it's dark and quiet after a search that lasted much of the afternoon for the employee around a grain mill. Authorities say that initial reports came in around 9 o'clock for an unaccounted for employee who had been working in or around a corn mill in a confined, not corn mill, corn silo in a confined space. A search involving first responders wrapped up at about 7 tonight. Didion says they're assisting authorities as they investigate what led up to this today. Didion tells us in a statement that they are, quote, deeply saddened by the loss of a Didion work family member. Going on to say it's been a difficult day, writing, quote, our thoughts and prayers are with our employees, loved ones, and our grieving work family. We want to thank local fire and EMT professionals for their prompt responsiveness and rescue efforts. Now, Didion is no stranger to tragedy. It's the site of an explosion in 2017 that killed 5 people and injured more than a dozen others. That resulted in OSHA recommending $1.8 million of fines. OSHA is investigating what happened here tonight as well.
Maddie O'Neill live in Cambria. Maddie, thank you. This is still a developing story. So as we learn more about this employee, who he is, and the investigation surrounding the death, be sure to stay with News 3 Now, Channel 3000, both on air and online.
To weather now, meteorologist Chris Reese has our first warn forecast from the patio. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Charlotte. Temperatures have begun to warm up as we have gone through, well, not the overnight hours, but really just since sunset after it got dark. That's because a little warm front is moving in as we speak. 34 our temperature now. Earlier in the day, right in the peak heating of the afternoon, our temperature was at 32. So we've warmed up. 29, though, in Viroqua, 32 in the Dells, 34 as you work your way over towards Mineral Point as well. Doppler track does continue to remain clear for us, but as we look ahead through tonight, we'll likely see these temperatures warm up by about another degree between now and midnight, and then our temperatures begin to drop again. And then once we start to clear out a little bit, look for those overnight lows down around 30. But I'm watching the pattern as we move towards the weekend. That's where we could see a chance for snow, and perhaps there's more than one chance for snow as we move into the days leading up towards Christmas. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
Chris, thank you. The search for Madison's next police chief is a step closer to completion. This morning, the Police and Fire Commission wrapped up final interviews. The public will get a look at those tomorrow. The attorney for the commission says there are also at least 2 more chances for the public to provide input on the process. The Madison Police Civilian Oversight Board has officially filled its chair and vice chair positions.
Jamie Perez introduces us to them and what they hope for with this new board that's the first of its kind in the nation.
In a majority vote, 2 women of color were chosen to fill the role of chair and vice chair on Madison's first police civilian oversight board. Now, both of these women say that this is a huge responsibility, but they're hoping that they can help fulfill the goal of holding police more accountable. Keisha Burnett, who is selected as the chair, currently works at United Way of Dane County, providing community support and helping bridge the gap between law enforcement and communities of color. Shadera Kilfoy Flores is a core part of Madison's community response team and said she's had both positive and negative encounters with police. And the board still needs to define their roles at a later date, but both women said they're excited to work with the Madison community and what this board could bring to Madison.
We have personal and professional relationships with quite a few chiefs of police as well as sheriffs in our community. We sit down and have meetings every month with the goal of building trust between law enforcement and different communities of color.
I hope that this continues to be a way in which to empower people, particularly people who have experienced brutality and people who are looking for accountability.
Part of their next task will be hiring an independent police monitor. Now, the board will not make any final decisions or issue any consequences for police, but instead they will listen to each case that's presented to them and recommend actions that they believe should be taken.
And that was Jamie Perez reporting. The board members are elected to staggered terms ranging from 2 to 4 years. It will meet quarterly.
There are more than 4,300 new COVID-19 cases confirmed, plus 80 new deaths in Wisconsin today. Here are the latest numbers from DHS and county health officials. There were also 214 new hospitalizations in the last day. 17% of hospital beds in the state remain available. The Packers organization tonight saying fans will be limited to Packer employees and their household families. That'll go for the rest of the NFL regular season. They say while infection rates in Brown County are trending in a better direction, the rate overall remains at a high level. In fact, the 4th highest among NFL cities. The organization also says with the holiday season coming up, there is concern that the rate may spike again. New data is confirming the effectiveness of the AstraZeneca vaccine. It shows it is 70.4% effective. That analysis of phase 3 trial results were published for the first time in a peer-reviewed journal today. But the findings do fall in line with what AstraZeneca shared last month about the vaccine's efficacy, which was developed in collaboration with the University of Oxford.
The company has not filed for emergency use authorization yet, but 2 others have. One of them, Pfizer, could have that authorization as soon as this week in the U.S. The FDA will discuss the vaccine on Thursday. In anticipation of the arrival of COVID-19 vaccines, UW Health is training staff to administer them to Tier 1A frontline healthcare workers. Nurses, nursing assistants, clinical techs, and others are being trained to prepare the vials of vaccines and administer them. To master injecting the vaccine, they are now practicing by injecting colleagues and sometimes fruit with a saline solution.
We're really bringing in a number of people from throughout the organization, and some of them do this every day, where others maybe haven't done this for a period of time. And so we want to just make sure that everybody is comfortable when they're going ahead and giving this vaccine.
She says they are also working to properly mix the vaccines. The Pfizer vaccine comes in 2 vials, one with a powder and another with a solution, and they need to be mixed together. She says the Moderna vaccine, which is up for emergency use approval next, comes pre-mixed.
In the United Kingdom, it's being called V-Day as mass vaccinations are now underway. British grandmother Maggie Keenan is the first person in the world to receive the Pfizer vaccine against COVID-19. She turns 91 next week. She says it's the best early birthday gift she has ever received. The UK's first 800,000 doses are going to the most vulnerable, hospital and nursing home workers and the elderly.
Amazing to see this tremendous shot in the arm for the entire nation, but we can't afford to relax now.
Britain is the hardest hit country in Europe with more than 61,000 deaths from coronavirus, one of the highest in the world per capita, even higher than the U.S. The UK has secured 40 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine, enough for 20 million people. The U.S. has an order in for 100 million doses pending FDA approval. President Trump signed an executive order today which will prioritize the U.S. receiving vaccine doses over other countries. The White House hopes the order will minimize concerns about the country not having enough of the vaccine to immunize at-risk groups.
Texas Attorney General has filed a lawsuit in the U.S. Supreme Court against Wisconsin and 3 other battleground states. The suit claims the states exploited the pandemic to ignore election laws. The lawsuit asks the High Court to invalidate the 62 Electoral College votes in Wisconsin, Georgia, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. The Wisconsin Attorney General had some pretty harsh words in response. Josh Call tweeted, quote, "I feel sorry for Texans that their tax dollars are being wasted on such a genuinely embarrassing lawsuit. Texas is as likely to change the outcome of the Ice Bowl as it is to overturn the will of Wisconsin voters."
The U.S. Supreme Court has denied a request by Pennsylvania Republicans to block the certification of the state's election results. In the lawsuit, allies of the president argued a bipartisan law passed last year that expanded mail-in voting in the state violated the Pennsylvania Constitution. President-elect Biden won Pennsylvania by about 80,000 votes. Today, the president-elect vowed to have 100 million COVID vaccine shots in the arms of Americans in his first 100 days in office while presenting his health team nominees. But while Mr. Biden was laying out his plan to combat the pandemic, President Trump was at the White House making more unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud. Natalie Brand reports.
Good afternoon. President-elect Joe Biden introduced key members of his health team who will be tasked with tackling pandemic response and COVID-19 vaccine distribution.
Masking, vaccinations, opening schools. These are the three key goals for my first 100 days.
Mr. Biden has tapped California Attorney General Javier Becerra, a former Democratic congressman, to become the first Latino Secretary of Health and Human Services.
It is our turn to build a nation where, as the president-elect so often says, healthcare is a right, not a privilege.
At the same time in Washington, President Trump renewed false claims that he won the election during a White House vaccine summit. No Biden transition team officials were invited to participate.
We won in those swing states, and there was terrible things that went on, so we're going to have to see who the next administration is.
President-elect Biden is expected to announce more top cabinet picks before the Christmas holiday, and he's facing mounting pressure to increase diversity among the remaining posts. Mr. Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will discuss the issue in a virtual meeting with civil rights leaders. The president-elect plans to nominate retired four-star General Lloyd Austin to become the first black man to lead the Pentagon. Austin led U.S. Central Command and military forces in Iraq before retiring 4 years ago. Federal law requires former military officers to wait 7 years before serving as defense secretary, so he would need a special waiver from Congress. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
And new tonight, we're also learning that the president-elect has tapped Ohio Representative Marcia Fudge to lead the Department of Housing and Urban Development. If confirmed, she would be the first black woman to lead the department.
Former head of U.S. cybersecurity Chris Krebs is suing the Trump campaign after one of its lawyers said he should be killed. President Trump fired Krebs after he said the presidential election was, quote, the most secure in American history, end quote. In turn, Trump attorney Joe DiGenova said in a Newsmax interview that Krebs should be, quote, drawn and quartered and taken out at dawn and shot. Well, Krebs filed a lawsuit against the Trump campaign, DiGenova, and Newsmax today. Krebs's accusations include defamation, emotional distress, and creating a risk of imminent physical harm. A judge has now formally dismissed the criminal case against President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn. This comes after Flynn's pardon by President Trump last month. In Judge Emmett Sullivan's opinion, he critiqued Trump's pardon of Flynn, noting that the pardon does not make Flynn innocent. Flynn lost his job after lying to the FBI in early 2017. He pleaded guilty twice.
And still to come tonight, an updated look at your full forecast. But first, why the Vilas Zoo lights will now be closing for the rest of the season, just days after first opening. That story and more coming up.
For $6 every day. Value. Two of those things for just $6. Chicken, beef, gyros. Two of those things for just $6. Oh, yay! Arby's, we have the meats.
Real customers are experiencing a real difference with Spectrum Internet and TV.
The speed is insane. It's always right there. Just boom.
It was easy to connect all of my devices, and I was able to find a plan that was affordable for me.
I'm saving money, and I'm even getting more speed.
Get the speed you need to do all the things you love on all your devices with Spectrum Internet, delivering the fastest starting speeds for the price. 200 megabits. Switch now for $44.99 a month. Call 833-918-4499.
With Spectrum TV, the picture quality is incredible. I feel like I'm in the movie.
The amount of stuff available on Spectrum On Demand is just never ending.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go. All from $44.99 a month. Call 833-918-4499.
Spectrum gives me the best deal no matter what.
Every day I'm saving money.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Ask about our easy self-install options to install your new services yourself. Call 833-918-4499.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more.
I'll take it.
I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry or 2021 RAV4.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop. Plus, our Red Line hotline. Plus, free online delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. Plus, exclusive offers every month. Right now, get 20% off floral, party trays, and DSW at Hy-Vee. Plus, a free bouquet. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus really does equal more. Sign up today.
Wednesday morning, a COVID-19 vaccine is getting closer to becoming reality.
That means hope for a lot of people, but it also means more people trying to take advantage of it. We'll tell you what to look out for tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Only about a week after opening, the Henry Vilas Zoo lights are now being canceled. According to the zoo, they say they're canceling the rest of the season out of an abundance of caution, given the current trends and projections with the pandemic. They say the decision was made in consultation with public health officials and feel it is the right one for the community, staff, and the animals. We're hearing from one of the Republican lawmakers today who put up the Christmas tree in the Capitol despite orders from the Evers administration.
It was put up by Representatives Paul Tittle and Shay Sortwell. The Department of Administration denied a permit to put this tree up, but a YouTube video shows Tittle and Sortwell decorating the tree anyway. They say they just wanted to continue a tradition that was put on hold this year, while Democratic lawmakers say the time spent putting up decorations should have been spent discussing important issues that matter to everyone.
Rather than defying orders, putting up trees, we should be working on COVID relief. There are pieces of legislation that the governor has called us into special session. We haven't done anything since March.
It's been over 100-year tradition in the Capitol, and I know that with all of the stuff that's going on with COVID and stuff this year, we shouldn't forget that tradition.
Representative Tittle says the tree is intended to bring joy to the hundreds of people still working in the Capitol building during the pandemic. He filed for an appeal to the DOA's denial of the permit. The lights of Rome's Christmas tree brought to life tonight. The city's mayor pressed the button remotely from the town hall since COVID restrictions have put a stop to big gatherings. Despite some bad weather and security restrictions due to the pandemic, the Central Square saw a few hundred people attending the annual event.
Well, that's beautiful. First Lady Melania Trump took part in the annual Marines Toys for Tots drive in Washington today. The event was hosted by the Marine Corps Reserve at Joint Base Anacostia Balling. This was the fourth year in a row the First Lady participated. She spoke briefly before helping the Marines and children sort toys and make Christmas cards. Well, it appears more of the Trump family will be moving to Florida after the Biden administration takes over next month. Ivanka Trump has spent the last 4 years by her dad's side in Washington as a White House senior advisor. But now it appears Ivanka and her husband, Jared Kushner, may be moving to Miami-Dade. The couple has purchased a plot of land in Indian Creek Village in an area dubbed Billionaire's Bunker. The 1.8 acre of land was most recently listed at $31.8 million. The property is about 60 miles from the president's Florida estate Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach.
Now to weather. Chris Reese scouring weather maps always and everywhere looking for a little snow in our first warned forecast. Chris?
Well, I had to go all the way back to 2017 just to find this video of snow on Christmas Eve sent to me by my friend Jonah. That was the last time that we actually had a true white Christmas. The definition of a white Christmas involves at least 1 inch or more of snow on the ground Christmas morning. That was the last time, 2017 and 2018. There was a goose egg last year as temperatures were into the 50s. But out of the last 10 Christmases, 5 had at least 1 inch of snow on the ground, 7 had at least some snow. And the odds of seeing a white Christmas here in this part of the country are around 60 to 75%. Yet, we've been snowless relatively for the past couple of years. What about 2020? Hold on to that. We'll answer that question in just a bit. For now, weather remains quiet over much of the country. Cloud cover here throughout the upper Midwest that has kept us dreary pretty much all day. But things are getting ready to change for us. This stalled out front is moving eastward as a warm front. This sets the stage for more sunshine and warmer temperatures as we move into tomorrow. Hour by hour, temperatures are hovering about where they are into the mid-30s right now. We'll cool down to 30 overnight once the skies begin to clear out. Tomorrow we see more in the way of sunshine. Temperatures continue to warm up. We're talking those highs right around 48. For your Wednesday, we do that all over again as we move into Thursday. A little bit more cloud cover at times, but temperatures are still going to top out into the 40s. In fact, close to 50 again. Now, this Thursday night, we've fallen back into the 30s. But I want to show you this. This is the upper air pattern. We're going to see a storm system moving in from the south. The data decided it doesn't want to show up, but I'll tell you what's happening. There's still going to be colder air starting to pour in from the northern part of the country at that point. In fact, Future Track shows you this, but the models are different on what exactly happens. There's still a wide range of variety. The track of the low, as we say almost every time it snows around here, but it's true, the track of the low is incredibly important. So this is the latest Future Track Model 1. It's been trying to trend a little bit further towards the north with the snow, but even still, it's been the furthest towards the south. Still, you see just a little bit here in southeastern parts of the state. Then we have Model 2. Now, this one's been further towards the north, but a lot of the other data has been in line to support that, and that would bring accumulating snows to us here in south central Wisconsin. The further south and east you are, I can tell you the better confidence I have in seeing at least some flakes into the weekend. With that being said, let's talk about dreaming of a white Christmas for this year. Right now, I have those snow odds at 60%, which is on the low end of what we would normally see. But the reason I've already said 60 is because we have more than one snow chance in the forecast. Not only is it this weekend, we'll have a snow chance next Tuesday and Wednesday as well. It's a minor one, but nonetheless, it is there. And check the temperatures. We're staying into the low 30s with those lows below freezing overnight. Get this. These temperatures are still above average. Our average high is 30, our average low is into the teens, but it's cold enough that snow that falls and sticks could stick around.
Can't wait to see that first video of Chris shoveling his new driveway at his new house.
We'll see what happens, Eric.
First snowfall. Chris, thanks. Just ahead in sports, Badger defensive line gets a jump start in their preparation for the Hawkeyes. Thanks to a little help from the other side of the ball in practice. Zach will explain. Sports is next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Here's a secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, is making it easier to tackle pesky frown lines. It's a Botox BOGO for anyone new to this service. There is no better time to learn how Botox is different at Robertson.
I want a client who comes in to feel comfortable and to know that their case is in good hands so they can relax and get on with their life as best as they can and let me do the fighting for them. That's how I want them to feel.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
A gift when he sees one. Ford, built for the holidays.
Get 0 for 66 financing plus $1,000 flex by cash and $2,000 trade assist on Escape during the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event.
So, how's saving for the renovation going?
All done.
I will never understand how you do it.
Easy. She saves with BMO Harris. We give you a cash reward for every month you save.
So BMO will give me cash for saving money?
You bet.
Can the subject hold position 2, please?
How's this?
That's art.
I make saving look good.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. Get a $5 reward every month you save $200 or more in a new BMO Statement Savings account.
Gifts come in many forms, but rarely do they offer the opportunity to pass on a legacy. When you give EdVest, Wisconsin's 529 college savings plan, as a gift, you pave the way for future generations to achieve their dreams through higher education. Your gift offers 100% tax-free growth potential and can be used at colleges, universities, and technical colleges. Continue your family's proud tradition of higher education or start one of your own by giving the gift of a promising future with EdVest.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
If you want to get better, you have to compete against the best, and that's just your average practice at Wisconsin. The Badger D-line goes up against the Badger O-line every single day. It's like iron sharpening iron, and as another plus, this week it's helping the defense get ready for another physical fight against the Iowa offensive line. Because even though the blocking schemes are different, the mentality is the same.
It makes everything easier for us because we're used to getting those looks, and especially going against our offensive line that are they're pretty good. I think it just helps us a lot just because we get that every day and every practice.
The Mackey Award released its semifinalists, and Jake Ferguson was on the list. The Badger Jr. is one of 8 tight ends up for the award. Ferguson leads the team in receiving with 23 catches for 235 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Packers have 4 games left in the regular season against 3 teams with losing records. The Lions are one of those teams, but they might have turned the corner under interim head coach Darrell Bevell. Remember that guy? In the former Badger QB's first game as a head coach, he led the Lions to a come-from-behind win over the Bears, and now there's some juice around the franchise. And after a performance like that, it's definitely a team the Packers aren't overlooking.
There's always danger each and every week in the National Football League. It doesn't matter who you're playing, where you're playing, when you're playing. You better come ready to play. We very much know what's in front of us. We got a team it's got a lot to prove. You know, people have pride, and nobody's going to roll over for you.
High school boys hoops, Monticello hosting Blackhawk in a 6 Rivers East clash, and Lucas Mills had himself a night for the Warriors. The jumper for 2 ties the game up at 20. Mills came off the bench and dropped in 17, but the Ponies closed the half on a 19-3 run. They also have a guy by the name of Peter Gustafson who's pretty good at basketball. The steal and score part of his game-high 29. Monticello gets the win, 72-47 is your final. And the Big Ten Conference named Cameron Rowe its 2nd star of the week after his performance against the Buckeyes. The freshman goalie stopped 40 of the 41 shots he faced and helped anchor Wisconsin to a 3-1 win in his first career start. We're back after this.
It's like he's doing crunches along the beach.
The season for dress boots is here, and Rogan's has your next pair. Savings with 30% off the best name brands. Get the latest trends today and save at Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
There's a splash of surprise in every Wisconsin Lottery scratch game. Like the exciting new play style of $2 Lucky Deal. Match 3 cards in the same hand or 2 cards from the same hand with the bonus card to win a prize. There's a chance to win up to 8 times on each ticket and a top prize of $4,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
Hey, no cell phones at the table. But it's Grandma.
Hi, Mom.
Go ahead. Give your home those new items you're craving for a comfy new feel. You're in luck. Slumberland's biggest Thanksgiving sale in 3 years has been held over. Get an additional 25% off our already low prices. Get your look for less at the Thanksgiving sale held over at Slumberland.
Bye, Grandma.
Bye, Grandma.
Get genuine value on gifts for Christmas during Blain's Farm and Fleet's huge gift sale going on now. Shop amazing deals store-wide on great gifts for everyone on your list. For the DIYer, this 100-piece screwdriver set is half off. For the snacker, 2-pound bags of whole cashews or deluxe mixed nuts are only $10.99. Give the gift of winter prep with extended life antifreeze and coolant, just $9.49 a gallon. And a Blain's Farm and Fleet gift card is always the perfect gift. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru. You don't even need to get out of your car.
Imagine life in that, or that. Having zero stress. Wasting zero energy worrying. 0 days wanting less seats, more seats, and 0 regrets. Imagine that. 0 reasons not to get into a Volkswagen, especially now that you can start shopping from home. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Tiguan S4 Motion today with 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 to its signing.
When you put money in a big bank, there it goes. But when you keep your money at Associated Bank, it gets invested close to home. It might become this family's renovation or help this little one's college fund. It could build local business or your favorite neighborhood spot. Because when you bank with Associated Bank, your money works in your community. All you have to do is make a simple choice. Send your money there or keep it here. Associated Bank. Your money works here.
Keep your family warm this season with new winter boots. Rogan's has 20% off the best name brands for mom, dad, and the kids. Save on winter boots for the whole family at Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
Finally tonight, the largest menorah in the world will light up New York City this Hanukkah. The 36-foot tall menorah was put up today, Midtown Manhattan. It'll be lit up every day, starting this Thursday, the first day of Hanukkah, through December 17th. The annual New York City tradition is part of the worldwide Hanukkah campaign, which started back in 1973. Let's go to Chris. Final check of the forecast.
Sunshine's expected tomorrow, folks. Those temperatures are going to be nice. 48, your forecast high. We're still in the 40s for Thursday and into Friday, but by the time we get you towards Friday, changes begin to come. Colder air comes our way. There'll likely be a system that passes by, and it will impact us, or they will be just south this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good. Be well. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.